Everyone thinks the Dreame L10s Ultra is just another overhyped robot vacuum with a fancy base. But here is the thing, the make or break is not the 5300 PA suction. It is whether the system actually removes you from the cleaning equation. And the surprising truth is, this one gets closer than most because the base station handles the gross stuff you usually ignore. I spent 3 weeks testing it in a real home with hardwood, tile, 2 area rugs, a shedding dog, and 2 kids. I went in skeptical. I came out with a few eyebrow-raising discoveries and a couple of deal breakers you need to know. Stick around because what I found flipped my buying criteria. Before we dive into what I discovered, a quick heads up. If you are already convinced and want the best current price, I put the link below. But do not skip ahead because one feature I thought was hype ended up being the main reason to buy this over competitors. Setup. I needed a real hands-off cleaner, not a robot that becomes a chore. My last 2 bots nailed vacuuming but turned mopping into a swamp. Dirty pads, funky smell, manual rinsing, and the dust bin, I was emptying it every other day. So when the Dreame L10s Ultra promised automatic dust collection, self-washing and hot air drying mops, solution adding, water refilling, and fast mapping, I rolled my eyes. Marketing bingo! Still, the promise of up to 60 days hands-off cleaning with a 3L dust bag and dual 180 RPM mops was tempting. The Amazon page showed a 4-star rating, and I found it on sale at $339.99 during my test window, which is wild given what this category usually costs. I wanted to see if the advanced AI navigation, RGB camera plus 3D structured light was more than a buzzword. Confrontation and testing. First up, mapping and navigation. I ran a fast map pass at night with lights dimmed. It zipped through my 1800 SQ-FT in under 15 minutes for the initial map, then refined edges during the first clean. The AI identified chair legs, table bases, and shoe piles with surprising accuracy. It eased around cables instead of steamrolling them, but then my black entry rug threw it for a loop on the first pass. It approached cautiously like it was a cliff. By the second run, it committed and handled it fine. In bright light or low light, the structured light helped it keep situational awareness. Visual cue for the video, show the live camera feed a nap and the 3D obstacle outlines. Vacuuming power next. With 5300 PA suction and a rubber brush, it handled dog hair on hardwood and a medium pile rug. On a crumb spill test, cracker, oats, and coffee grounds, it cleared 96% on a single pass on hard floors. Along baseboards, it left a narrow strip of debris, maybe 3 to 5%, which is typical. On carpet, the auto boost kicked in audibly and it lifted embedded hair without tangling much in the brush. After a full house clean, the built-in robot bin was barely used because the base auto-emptied after dock, loud for about 10 seconds with the dual boost 2.0 system, but quick and effective. Visual. Capture the sound meter spike during auto-empty. Mopping is where it gets interesting. The dual rotary pads spin at 180 RPM with good downward pressure. I let coffee drip dry on tile overnight and smeared a thin layer of ketchup on the kitchen test strip. One pass removed almost all the coffee and about 80 to 90% of the ketchup. A targeted second pass finished it. On daily grime, it leaves floors looking actually clean, not just damp. For mixed spaces, carpet detection gives you options. Avoid carpets entirely while mopping or raise the mop pads when crossing. On my medium pile rug, the lift avoided soaking it, but I still felt the faintest dampness after a long edge overlap. If you have very thick rugs, set no mop zones to be safe. Base station and maintenance. This is the secret sauce. After each run, the base immerses the pads and scrubs them against the grooved plate, then dries with hot air in roughly 2 hours. That hot air drying matters. It eliminated the mop funk that killed my last robot. The 2.5L clean water tank covered my main floor, about 1500 SQ-FT, without a refill, and it automatically added cleaning solution from its reservoir, which is convenient but means ongoing consumables. Dust bag is 3L. Based on my tests, it should last 5 to 8 weeks in a pet home. The trade-off, the base is big. If space is tight, measure first. Visual, time-lapse of the pads drying and a sniff test day 7 versus day 1. App control and AI. The app let me create multi-floor maps, set no-go and no-mop zones, and schedule routines by room. Video control is built in. You can supervise it and steer if needed. You can also disable the camera and restrict video features if privacy is your concern. Voice control worked with my smart assistant tests for start, pause, and room targeting, battery and stamina. The 5200 mAh battery handled a 92-minute whole home clean with vacuum plus light mop at standard suction and returned with about 40% left. On max suction plus heavy-duty mopping, it needed a mid-clean top-up, then resumed exactly where it left off. Obstacle avoidance. I staged Lego bits, dog toys, and 2 charging cables. It avoided the toys and most Lego. It recognized one cable and tiptoed around it, but nibbled a thin phone wire once. If your floor is a cable farm, tidy up or set quick no-go strips. Discovery and revelation. The biggest surprise was not the suction or the AI camera. It was the hot air mop drying. That single feature made daily mopping realistic because I never had to touch a slimy pad or deal with that wet towel odor. After investing 3 weeks of runs daily in the kitchen, alternate days in living spaces, weekly deep cleans, I found myself scheduling mops more often simply because the maintenance friction vanished. And yes, the AI navigation felt practical, not gimmicky. It learned my chair layout and stopped ramming legs. Compared to alternatives, versus iRobot J7 Plus you get true mopping and auto wash. Versus Roborock Q Revo, the Dreame's RGB camera gave it a slight edge around clutter in my home. Versus premium flagships that cost much more, the L10s Ultra is close on cleaning and wins on price when on sale. Too good to be true? Not quite. Edge cleaning is average, thick rugs during mops still need no mop zones, the base takes space, and the auto empty is momentarily loud. There are detergent and bag consumables. But the automation stack auto empty, auto wash, auto dry, solution adding, and reliable path planning actually reduces your workload. Bottom line, fewer chores for real. Now that you know the mop drying and base automation are the real unlocks, you will want to grab it while the price is down. Deals swing fast, so check the link in the description for the best current price and any bundle on bags or detergent. Verdict: if you want a truly hands-off vacuum and mop for mixed floors, have pets or kids, and value obstacle-savvy navigation, the Dreame L10s Ultra is an easy recommend, especially anywhere near that $339.99 sale price. If your home is mostly high-pile carpets or you are uncomfortable with a camera-equipped bot, consider a vacuum-only with a smaller base. For everyone else, this is the set-it-and-forget-it system that finally earns the Ultra badge. Bottom line: it cleans like a robot, but more importantly, it maintains itself like one.